Greetings, thank you for joining me today. I have a cold, an ongoing cold, and a bad irritating cough, so I'm trying my best not to cough. This one goes out to all those people who work in a contact centre like I do, like I've done for so many years, in various places all over the world, all over the country. I have suffered so many colds over the years. The other office sicknesses, they're one thing, but the colds and the sore throats and things that make you lose your voice are no fun. Now, I have been blessed with some work which hasn't required me to talk, and those are wonderful jobs when you can get them. But the money is where the words are, frankly, for me, and so that's why I tend to focus on the customer service work, because I'm good at it. But I need a whole raft of drinks and cures that keep me going through periods when I suffer a cold, because I suffer a lot of them. I wouldn't suffer so many if I didn't have to go into work so often and travel on public transport. That's how you get colds. And of course, if you've got kids, those kids will bring colds home from school as well. You know, sharing is caring. So, choose your energy drink of your choice if caffeine does you some good. That's always a good thing to have on hand. Exactly what you buy, and it's down to your personal choice. I like them all, really. I like them all, from the cheap to the not so cheap. Red Bull is my favourite, being honest with you. But if there's a Cherry Relentless or the cherry version of Lucozade, or even in this tropical one, I'll still go for those. They're all good. Even Aldi's own brand, which is possibly the cheapest one on the market, is pretty decent. I buy them all with my own money, and I have no real preference. It's all down to what's available at the time. As long as it's cold and caffeinated, I'm good with it. But some people can't take caffeine, and some people with ADHD do suffer from drowsiness when they ingest caffeine, be it through energy drinks or coffee, tea, you name it, wherever it comes from. So for those people, you might want a non-caffeinated drink, and there's plenty of those out there. And again, if you can get some vitamin C in there, so much the better. That's good for any cold. And the nice thing with vitamin C is it's one of those vitamins that if you take on too much, you just pee it out. So it doesn't build up to toxic levels, not unless you really work at it. And so that's fairly safe, along with vitamin D. If you can get supplements, but your skin makes that for you. If you can get some sunshine, so it is worth getting out into the outside world once a day at least. Take a lunch break, get out away from that desk. That's good for you. Commute home by bicycle, that's good for you. But take supplements as well, because that is also good for you. It helps you fight off disease. So you've done all that. There are other things you can do. So as you might have seen by the first picture, I encountered some new non-alcoholic booze today, and that's the Brooklyn Brewery, not quite 0% alcohol, but 0.4% alcohol, which is pretty much not much. Now, obviously, I'm not going to sit down at my desk at work and drink this on my desk. Tempting though it would be, but it is good of an evening to revive those vocal cords. And that's what I hope anyway. I'll file this hopefully with the likes of Guinness non-alcoholic, which is very good for a sore throat, and Corona non-alcoholic, excellent for a sore throat, and various others that I could name but can't think off the top of my head. The only non-alcoholic drinks I don't like are the non-alcoholic shots, the things that are trying to be rum but not rum, and gin but not gin, and it's just lost in watery flavour. Ugh. Yeah. Captain Morgan, non-alcoholic, I'm looking at you. Sounds like the cats are on the rampage. Yes. Well, anyway, let's try this, crack this open, and see how it tastes. I built this into the space behind the sink, or by the sink. Gives you that bar feeling. Let's pour a little glass, shall we? a steady hand. It's got a good head on it, and it's lots of citrusy notes that you get off the head. The aroma's nice. There's none of the often present sulphury notes that you get when you've had a beer that's been heavily treated with sulfites. It's just citrus notes, so it's like smelling the zest of a grapefruit with a little bit of lemon in there. It's very nice. They describe it as a hoppy lager, and it's got a good colour. You can't. Ooh, let me put that bottle down. You can't quite tell on the camera, but it's a little lighter than it looks on camera in reality, but it's nice. And it's very crunching. If you've got a sore throat like I have, it's really, really nice. It soothes. And I think I'll get some more of this in when I next do some dusty work at the weekend. I've been tearing down the ceiling in the old kitchen, basically getting to a rotted joist that was rotted by the bathroom leaking above. Yes, pure joy doing that. Brings down lots of dust. Basically fixing somebody else's bodge job. Now, if you'd like to see a video on that work, pop a note in the comments. I do appreciate every note, and I do try and read everything. On that note, I must apologise if anybody's put any notes and comments in some of my earlier videos. I've only just discovered that you have to have the Google Creators app. I forget what it's called right now. Isn't it wonderful when you start talking about something and completely lose your thread? It's the YouTube Studio. You have to have the YouTube Studio app in order to keep a track on your comments, because if you don't have that, that's a great place to find all your comments and find out. So I went on there and I discovered how many it had, and I thought, I haven't seen that many comments on my videos. Went through my videos on the regular YouTube app, couldn't see the comments there, and of course they held a review in the YouTube Studio, invisible, which isn't ideal. It used to be that the little messages would pop up on the regular YouTube and you go and you can review it, but no. Turns out you have to have the YouTube Studio in order to review everything and keep a close eye on all those stats that mean so much. Personally, I'm just happy to get some views, and I do enjoy reading your comments and responding to everyone that I see. So if I missed any of the earlier comments, I do apologise sincerely. That was not my intent, and if you're still with us, I do thank you for your patience, believe me. So yes, so moving on. That one's a rather nice beer, and I will have that in along with a load of Corona for the dusty work come the weekend. It runs in at £4 currently, £4 for 4 bottles in Asda, which is £1 a bottle, and you can't knock that. It's very, very nice, and yeah, can't think of anything nasty to say about it really. It's right up there with the likes of the Guinness non-alcoholic. That's very nice, especially when you've got a sore throat. Again, I think that's slightly better value for money because you get more in a can. And I do also like the Corona non-alcoholic and Peroni non-alcoholic. They're also nice, but there are others. The only ones I don't really enjoy are the likes of Captain Morgan's Spice non-alcoholic rum. It's rubbish. It really is. It's lacking in flavour, and if this one goes out to whoever's responsible for that, what were you thinking? Who hurt you? It's, when somebody gets, if you've not tried it, don't bother, don't waste your money. The Captain Morgan spiced, if you've tried spiced rum, the Captain Morgan regular, that's quite nice. It's got a full flavour. There's nothing wrong with that. It goes well with a Coke. Whereas the Captain Morgan non-alcoholic tastes like Auntie had a bottle of rum flavouring in the cupboard, and she wanted to water it down, and then you drank it, and that's what it tastes like, watered down food colouring and flavouring. Now, of course, you might not be able to drink beer, lager, or any non-alcoholic drinks whilst you're at work, therapeutic though it might be. Some jobs are better with a bit of alcohol in you, it has to be said, because some people test your patience, they really, really do. However, I'm not advocating drinking at work. That's very irresponsible. Bad decisions get made that way. No, but if you can't drink something therapeutic like that, then it's your job to find out something else which will do you just as much good. Now, we can't all have the caffeinated drinks, and sometimes they won't do you any good. Two of these, and a lot of us are suffering palpitations, so that's not the way to get through the day. A regular water is very, very good, always recommended. Not cold, sort of room temperature will probably do you the most good, although sometimes the cold drink just feels nicer. But it will tighten your vocal cords and make enunciating a little bit trickier. I always recommend making yourself a cordial if you can. Ginger beer is great. Ginger beer with painkillers if you need that. But plain ginger beer, non-fizzy ginger beer will do you the best of good if you like that sort of thing. If you don't, then maybe a lemonade cordial, that's also quite helpful. You've got to get the vitamins in, really. What I sometimes do, and I probably want to put a video out there about that, is make my own ginger beer, non-carbonated and non-alcoholic. And to do that, you start with root ginger. Or you start with a nice lemonade, sugary one, not one of these ones with the awful sweeteners. And if you have to make it from lemons and sugar yourself, so be it. You can add a bit of citric acid if you want to up the lemony content. But I find just the lemons and the zest of the lemon will provide all the lemon you need, along with some water and some sugar, and you boil it up until you get a nice flavour there. That's the way I like to do it. And in the heating, you drive off some of the flavour, but of course you do help sterilise it all, because some of that fruit will bring that fermentation goodness to the brew if you don't kill it off first. Once you've got that, then you get some root ginger, as much of it as you can afford, and you pound it till it's a mush with a pestle and mortar if you've got one, or a food processor of some sort. You can grind it up. What you're going to do with that is, once you've got all that pounded garlic, is you put it into a bag, basically a cloth bag, a good sterile cloth bag, and you can get these for brewing, and it has to be some sort of gauze bag that contains the bits, because what you don't want is the bits getting into the brew itself. You can let them settle to the bottom, but I like them to be contained within the bag, and you pop that bag to steep in the lemonade, and just let it sit there for a couple of days. All that pounded ginger releases all its gingery goodness into the brew, and it ends up tasting really, really nice. And you adjust the sugar. You can add more carefully, and up the sugar content. Have a nice ginger and lemon drink. Now, I shop in local supermarkets, yes I do, but I prefer to shop in local tiny shops, small shops, ma and pa businesses, because they're the lifeblood of this country and many other countries besides, and it's up to you to use them. Shop locally if you can, because otherwise supermarkets will stamp them all out, and then you'll be left serving yourself at the self-service till, in an understaffed shop, buying whatever they think you will pay for. I would sooner buy local in a local small shop and put back into the community. That's the best way to do it. It's up to you guys. So to that end, I will go to our local Afro-Caribbean shops, which also carry a range of Latin products as well. And one of my favourite stores, as well as carrying all the herbs and spices, they carry a range of fruit drinks, lychees, various other mango drinks, lovely. And also this, which is, think along the lines of Kool-Aid. If you tried Kool-Aid in the States, a tub of sugar with flavouring in it. Well, this is like that. It's a sachet of sugar with flavouring in, and it's very, very gingery. There's variations on the theme with lemon, and this one's ginseng and ginger, but they're all very good. Again, serve it boiling, serve it cold, doesn't matter, it's all good. It soothes the throat. Really, really nice. If you can get hold of that, ask your local store, see what they can do for you. Yeah, so that's basically it for today. So if you've stuck with me this long, once again, thank you for your time. I do appreciate it. If you've got time for a like and subscribe, again, I appreciate that. It does help the channel grow, and I do try and read all comments, believe me. Yeah. Let me know what you think. Do you have a preferred go-to drink for when you're suffering a sore throat? It doesn't matter if you don't work in a contact centre. Love to hear from you. Let me know. Anyway, Whatever you do, have a great day. Bye for now.